All right, here we go.
What did you say, Heather? To declare share the AULs in the
Yeah.
stream?
Yeah, make sure that you declare your AOLs. You could say like AOL pyramid.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Be inside your body. Be inside your throat. Be inside your heart. Be inside your solar plexus. Be inside your third eye. Be floating above your body. Be in your body. Be floating above your body. Be 10 feet above your body. Be that which you are sitting on. Be your floor. Be your house. Be your rooftop. Be on your rooftop. Be the wind passing over the rooftop. Be the rays of sun hitting the rooftop. Be a tree. Be the tallest tree in the world. Be the root system of that tree. Be a leaf on the tree. Be a tiny bird living in the tree. Be an organism living in the tree. Be a little bug living in the tree. Be all the trees in the world. Be a grain of sand. Be all the sand in the Sahara Desert. Be all the animals in the Sahara Desert. Be a snake. Be the Atlantic Ocean. Be the Pacific Ocean. Be the Red Sea. Be the Mediterranean. Be a sea turtle. A starfish. A jellyfish. A pod of dolphins. A seahorse. Be a shark. Be a whale. Be all the water in all the oceans and lakes on the earth. Be the core of the earth. Be Middle Earth. Be a gnome. Be a fairy. Be an elf. Be 1,000,000 years in the past. Be 1,000,000 years in the future. Be your highest self. Be your lowest self. Be all your other lives. Be sad. Be happy. Be short. Be tall. Be big. Be little. Be male. Be female. Be both. Be physical. Be mental. Be spiritual. Be the moon. Be the sun. Be the spiritual representation of the sun. Be the beings in the sun. Be Mars. Be Jupiter. Be Venus. Be Mercury. Be Neptune. Be Pluto. Be Saturn. Be Uranus. Be an asteroid. Be a comet. Be a Lyran. Be a feline being. Be a Pleiadian. Be 5 years old. Be 120 years old. Be death. Be born. Be dark. Be light. Be foolish. Be wise. Be wounded. Be healed. Be lower dimensional consciousness. Be fifth dimensional, sixth dimension, seventh dimension, eighth dimension, ninth dimension, 10th dimension, 11th, and 12th. Be a quartz crystal. Be all of your chakra system. Be the chi moving through your body along its meridians. Be blocked energy. Be flowing energy. Be effort and be effortless. Be resistant. Be surrendered. Be singular. Be all. Be nothing. Be everything. Take a deep breath in and slowly exhale out. Take a deep breath in and slowly exhale out. Take another deep, deep breath in and slowly exhale out. Be the air that is in your lungs. Be your lungs. Be a diamond. Be a tourmaline. Be jade, obsidian, rose quartz, selenite, onyx, lapis lazuli, Herkimer diamond, jade, kyanite, moonstone, amethyst, ruby, emerald, sapphire, malachite. Be Mexico. Be a Mexican. Be Japan. Be a Japanese. Be Russia. Be Russian. Be French. Be Canadian. Be African. Be the North Pole. Be the South Pole. Be the equator. Be magnetic energy. Be electrical energy. Be mechanical energy. Be a black hole. Be low vibrational. Be high vibrational. Be confused. Be clear. Be powerless. Be powerful. Be the lowest valley in the earth. Be the highest mountain in the earth. Be a volcano. Be a thought. Be fire. Be soil. Be a rock. Be ether. Be a victim. Be a magician. Now I'd like for you to be the numbers 2236. Again, I'd like for you to be the numbers 2236. Become one with these numbers and experience them in yourself.
All right. I got natural structure, hilly terrain.
I started off seeing like maybe the top of a really, really big tree and seeing horizontal lines, sort of beige. And then I started seeing this yellow square. It's the outline of the square.
I see yellow, warm, and vibrating. AOL, something like a hut or a house with a pointed roof.
I started by watching purple, orange clothes hanging in a clothes rack outside. It was windy, green, and there were black clouds.
I saw equality, the square, marching, communicating, the Trinity, creation, vastness, infinity, a double Trinity, Star of David, above, below.
I got subjects, Candyman AOL, a pumpkin AOL, something like a mushroom tree, and Smurfs AOL. I saw like rubbing hands together and creating smoke. Business as usual, accomplished party.
I keep seeing flashing lights in the sky, AOL lightning, AOL strobe light.
I hear thunder and I see lightning.
Heart beating and pounding. Or two.
AOL looks like a triangle, a shape.
I'm seeing something sort of, it seems like it's sloped. And I'm also seeing this disc. It's a round disc and it's horizontal. And there's something vertical going through it. And this disc seems to be spinning. I also saw a couple figures, but they seem pretty static. So I guess AOL statues.
There is a green energy permeating from my third eye, and it's going and it's in front of me like in a cone-like fashion, like a spotlight.
I'm walking deep in the woods. I've been sitting in a campfire, and then I feel like, or I sense an energy that's either it's an individual or an orb like. And I ask, what do you want from me?
I'm seeing someone, and this one's living. And I'm seeing the top part of him, and he's sort of dressed like a ninja. He's like, he has this black, it's like this black covering on his head, and his shoulders as well, at least the top part, and his face is covered except for the eyes.
At Rainbow, I saw kind of circular energy moving outwards. And I saw subjects carrying what looked like clouds or cotton candy, so AOL. And then I saw a big white glove, kind of like Mickey Mouse's hand, opening a door.
my heart is beating really, really, really fast.
I see mandala designs, AOL. There's a lot of designs. They're just coming in and out. It it feels quite magical, but it just they're all sort of designs, the geometrical designs coming through.
I feel like I'm moving forward really fast through a dark tunnel.
Rain on my skin. Subject's voice proud. There is a burly man.
I see a room, so it's enclosed, and there is a door, and like I'm kind of like moving and gliding in towards the door.
Yeah, earlier on, I did find myself within a space, within sort of like a room, and I was looking out of an opening and seeing two tall structures or rocks. They're really big, and they're aligned like side by side. And then I also saw this really, really huge pole, and I was looking up at where it went, and it went straight up, and the ceiling was open, so it was like this circle around this pole, and it was black, so it looked like possibly the sky or space.
Carnival AUM.
I also saw another image of I don't know if it's some type of carving or artwork. It's a circle, and within the circle is an image of this female, quite colorful, and she looks. She just reminds me of like a mermaid.
It feels really warm.
horse.
Everything I'm seeing just seems very cartoonish. Like I saw a steamroller rolling over, flattening things. I saw a white bunny sniffing, a dinosaur flying. So I don't know if I'm just not connecting today or if this is something a bit more on the cartoonish side.
Well, I see a reptilian eye.
So I guess my results would be subject, wind energy, or some other kind of energy, but natural energy, surface, and I sense some water there. But so far, that's all I'm getting.
AOL, I see a bridge. Um, it's strange to even explain. There's like a room to another room, and there is, instead of a pathway, there is a bridge. And it's really difficult to explain.
I did see something that looked like a bridge as well.
I hear the clucking of chickens and the smell of rain again. Seems to be a very busy area.
I'm seeing a lot of circles. They're like lined up right next to each other. The circle outlines. I was seeing a couple like boulders, and they seem altered. They remind me of like this Egyptian Sphinx head, but I saw two of them, and they seem to be kind of surrounding, like one to the left and one to the right of something, of a path, like marking the entrance or marking something.
What are they marking the entrance to?
Feels feels like somewhere important. It feels like a refined place, even though there seems to be a lot of natural nature there.
I sense the orb, and I'm walking it. It's bringing me into a library or something that has a lot of knowledge in it.
So Lily, tell me more about that.
About the place that it's marking?
Yes. The refined place.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of meaning, culture, symbolism there. I mean, it seems like a special place.
So Lily, I want you to go there, and I want you to go into that and sense it and experience it, and then come back to us with whatever you pick up from there.
Heather, could you repeat?
I was just asking Lily to go deeper into that place and to get more information.
So I'm sorry, getting emotional. It's so weird. I don't know why this happens. Yeah, it feels like very important place. And I'm seeing this female, and she has this veil or headpiece over her head. It's white. And you know, at first it's covering her face, and then it's when I look again, it's up, and it's brown hair. She's doing something important. This isn't you again, is it?
No.
It does look like you, actually. It actually does. Okay. Yeah, and the headwear that she has, I don't know if veil is the correct term because it's not over her face now, but it's, when I look at the fabric, there are like stars in it. I don't know if it's cut out or just the design, but it's like they're little cutout stars.
So what are the concepts that you're sensing around this?
I mean, it kind of feels religious, like praying or it's very contemplative. Personal development, inner growth.
Something Egyptian.
Egyptian? Is that what you
Is that
said?
what you said, Dips? I think she did. I think she said something Egyptian.
Yeah, yeah. I got a lot of that actually.
Yeah.
Didn't see any pyramids though.
That's okay.
Heather, I'm seeing like a yellow and red glow, almost as if there's maybe a flame or a fire, and the glow from it, and somewhat smoky air. Possibly AOL coals burning, or lava, or a flame.
Where's Mario?
I'm still in the library, so
Okay.
I still think I'm in the library.
Okay. And what kind of library is this? Can you describe it?
I've been in a lot of libraries. It's unending.
Unending.
And it's when you do a 360, obviously I see the entrance, but all the other, it's like a horseshoe, and you can, it's just like infinite. Seems like you can go to any spot and you still have a ton of areas to look at. And the orb just seems to, like I'm asking it, it knows that I'm fascinated by knowledge, but it's waiting for me, I guess. I get the impression it's waiting for me to pick what I want. And we're not talking, it's telepathic. But I'm trying to figure out what the hell. Somewhere there is going to be my answer that I'm looking for. It's almost waiting for me to pick it. And then when I walk around, you know how you used to play with as kids, hot and cold?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to do now, to see if I feel impulsed or motivated to go over to this one versus this one.
So is this a physical or spiritual or both?
I haven't touched a book yet, so I would say it's more emotional or what's in my mind. Because it's too, I guess for me, it's too big or too vast. I've been in a lot of big libraries.
So it's maybe too vast to be physical. It's more representational.
Yeah, well, it's almost like, what's the best way to say it? As you walk, then there's a certain amount that becomes apparent and clear, and the others fade out. You know, I guess this is my fantastic rendition of it. See, I went through this, the orb of me went through this column here, these two things, and then I went, this is the library and stuff on the other side. This is never ending. It just doesn't seem like it stops. So that's why I don't think it's, I think it's imaginary or not physical.
Yeah. So can you sense, can you do some sensing into saying, why here? Why is this library here? Or how?
Yeah.
How, why and how? So sense into that.
Okay. All right. Now last.
Well, I feel that there is, this seems to be somewhere a place really old, because I see symbols on the walls and symbology. It's almost like they've drawn things on the walls. Like I could see a tree, kind of tree of life, and then I could also see figurines drawn on there, and then symbology. Basically, the way it's been written, it's more like symbology. And I also see a lamp, like a light, a lamp by the side, as if, you know, it is something where, you know, kind of religious, is something to do with religion, or something to do with the worshipping, or something, you know, where it is sacred. So something on those lines.
Very good. Can you do some sensing into what makes this area sacred? Is this area sacred on its own, or what is, why is it considered sacred?
There is a lot of energy in this place, a lot of energy, where it feels like a higher energy. The energy is vibrant. The energy seems to feel it. There's a vibration feeling towards it, and there's a lot of strong meaning towards these symbologies. Whatever's been, you know, mentioned, or it's dug in onto the walls, and the feeling makes it more spiritual or sacred. The feeling just feels like it's quite sacred. There's a lot of worshipping or something that normally is done.
Can you go and sense into some of the symbols and try and connect to the meaning of some of the symbols that are dug into the walls?
I hear music and I see trumpets or bagpipers.
I'm just going to throw it out there. Stairway to Heaven, I'll be like Laurie used. I would say, oh, but here's the thing. I asked, why did you bring me here? And it says, because you're seeking answers. It's a smart ass comment I said to the orb, just kind of flickered. Then I said, what is the purpose of this place? And it said to me, to expand you and open your mind. So I said, could you get a little more specific? So let me sense it. Just floating there. Looking at it. All right, so I got to get more precise asking. I get the sense that if I, what's that expression? If you ask the right question, you get the right answer.
Yeah.
It's waiting for me to ask the right question. All right, so
maybe ask, what is the highest wisdom?
yeah, okay, I'll play it that way.
Sorry, what was that, Dips? Where is Lily?
Here. Okay, I understand what you meant now. Yeah, I'm just seeing a lot of beings, and they're all different, and they're all dressed really interestingly. I can definitely see why Laurie said it seemed cartoonish. Definitely very interesting looking, interesting way of dress. And each different. Yeah, they're different from each other.
Can you describe a bit more about how they might be dressed?
One female had her hair piled up high, like Marie Antoinette, except I believe that is her real hair. And the clothes, like a really high collar, really bright colors. Another one looked, I don't really know my culture too well, so I don't want to say the wrong thing and not quite mean it. But another one kind of had a head covering, really bright purple, and yeah, where is this place? It doesn't feel like it's at this time. It feels so otherworldly.
Yeah, purple and orange was the first thing that I saw as well, and it seemed like a carnival and a lot of people and a lot of voices and subjects.
I feel like there's sacred geometry there.
How is that sacred geometry expressed or formed?
I think I'm feeling it like a frequency, like an energy, like waves, more than words or specific.
Okay. And where does that frequency emanate from?
As for the place in the universe, I don't know yet. As if it's within ourselves, I'm feeling it a lot in my heart area.
Is this a place you would go to in real life if you could?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all day.
I hear a heartbeat. But well, it seems like it's not the heartbeat of a person. It's more like the heartbeat of a place or something.
And
Well,
tell me more about this place. What makes this place so special? Why is there these structures here? Who made these structures? Why did they make them?
Heather, when I went deeper, you know how you have different areas and columns in the library that have different languages or different subjects?
Yeah.
So what I did sense was that as I go to different places, it's got different symbols. It's not, I recognize it, but it's ancient. It seems ancient. It's like language you never, symbols that you forgot it. The other thing, but I think that's my AOL, is I was listening to a guy, Matthias Stefano, when he was talking about giants versus reptilians. But I was listening to that earlier today, this morning, and I get this sense that this has got, all the history of anything you wanted to. It depends what you're seeking. And it's really the one thing I emphasize, I would say here, it's really emphasizing the reason the library isn't really tactile. You can't physically touch it because I think it's asking you to grow and search within yourself to get it, which is a little different. So that's why it's unlimited. I get the keep getting the word sensing it's unlimited knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
As I get better at it or stronger, I'll get more and more. Appear to me.
So I keep on hearing a lot of music here. Now I hear an orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stick to Stairway to Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling like maybe portal.
Mm-hmm.
There seems to be a lot of roots from place to place.
Do you know where this portal connects to?
It seems like a really magical place. Almost like a place of the imagination,
Mm-hmm.
like magical to that degree. There's a childlike wonder to it.
That's a perfect explanation for what I'm seeing, but I just feel like all my information is kind of nonsense.
I just saw a pyramid, AOL.
Mm-hmm.
But I have not seen any paraphysical beings yet, but it does seem to me to be another culture.
Mm-hmm. Can you sense into that culture? Find out what their values are.
Keep on seeing an Egyptian headdress.
Okay. Go talk to one of the beings with the Egyptian headdress.
I got the word monotheism,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. I'm kind of second guessing that. It doesn't. I don't know. It sort of doesn't feel like that would be the case
Mm-hmm.
in a place like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so again, it seems like a very busy place. It seems like a busy marketplace. And I see this animal, which is like a white, well, it's not a cat, it's like a panther, but it's a pet. So it's walking with these two people.
It's a white panther.
It's like well, it's like one of those marble statues.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know how to describe this. It's like a very large cat, but it's like a predator, but it's a pet predator.
Mm-hmm. Go talk to it.
I do, and the word it tells me is obelisk. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
I feel this is a bit more of a tribal kind of an area, because it's giving me this a sense where there are, that I could see. Now suddenly I see trees and things around me, and taking me to some rocky places as well, and it feels like more of a tribe that I am in, something where some sort of story has gone on in this place where there is tribes or something like that. It doesn't feel, because I see symbols, I see way they kind of had worship and had a sacred kind of a place, and it gives me a lot of knowing that there is a lot of tribe. It's like something to do with a tribe, with a group of
I talk,
people, kind of tribal, kind of gives me a feeling of tribal.
I talked to the women who were holding the panther, and I hear the word Mayan.
See, I think it's older than those, because everything I sense is four.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I asked, "Who are you?" and all I got was ancient.
Ancient.
So I think what I'm sensing this is, and one said to me, "We're you eons from now." So I'm sensing that I will become that, what they are. So it doesn't, I don't see any physical. It's not like lesion or any of those, like whatever they call them. This is beyond. It's like purely mathematically, you can see the it goes from the DNA to the hexagon and then whatever. It's just energy.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't sense a human. I don't sense a lack of an alien. I sense it's beyond that. It's
Mm-hmm.
pure energy.
Here.
Really pure thought.
Mm-hmm.
And do whatever it wants and appear wherever it wants.
Mm-hmm. And you said earlier that you're having telepathic communication.
Yeah, it's well, there's no mouth for it,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like it's talking to me in my head. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. When I first walked at the beginning, I was walking in the woods heading toward it, and then the path opened. So I knew something was there,
Mm-hmm.
and then I remember looking over on my peripheral vision, and then it appeared. That's when I asked, "What do you want me to do?" And it said, "Follow me." That's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
The lady showed me jewelry.
What did she show
Huh?
you?
Jewelry,
Jewelry.
bangles, and some neck pieces, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Where's Carrie right now?
I'm right here. I don't know if you can see my paper. Let's see. Let me go to my video. I don't know why. Hold on, let me start my video. And
The jewelry seems to be, sorry,
that's okay.
sorry.
I just
The jewelry, the
Go ahead.
jewelry seems to be made of metal or something, like steel, and it has a tribal feel to it.
Okay, go ahead, Carrie.
I was showing. I saw like somewhat of a tunnel, and it was kind of seemed like an alcove.
Mm-hmm.
It was a long tunnel, and I was walking towards it, and like on the inside, when you looked inside the tunnel, the energy was like spinning.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see that? Okay, I can't.
Yeah, I can see it great.
Okay.
Did you go into the tunnel?
I was trying to, and I wasn't getting anything yet, but I'm gonna try now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sort of getting something like that too, except for me, it was going upwards. So I felt like I was in a tube, a really big one, and there were rings all within the inside, and it was going up and looking up. The top is open. Again, kind of what I was getting earlier. And then I saw that long pole shape again. This time there was something wrapped around it, and I think it was a serpent or a snake. And this whole time I'm feeling extremely jittery and my heart is racing. It hasn't stopped. So perhaps a really high frequency place that I'm just not used to.
Mm-hmm. And you had mentioned that you had gone in some rooms earlier. Or a room or something.
Yeah, I was within an enclosed space and I was peeking out this opening. And I saw these two sort of triangular boulder shapes that were side by side. Could not tell how large they were. They seemed fairly large.
Heather, what I notice also is if I'm within a certain proximity of the orb, I don't think there's any floor, ceiling. It's dimensionless or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I left. Well, there's no sense of earth. It's not earthbound there.
So it's a multi-dimensional place.
Yeah, I guess I've never been in space, but I've been in the ocean by myself, floating.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no sense of any specific. You do a 360. I just did it. All I do see is the images of different library and books. It's not books. It's just shells and different symbols in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I wasn't aware of anywhere. I'm like, how you're heavy and you can feel if you're on the ground by walking.
Mm-hmm.
I felt weightless. I guess is the best word.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and to answer your question, from my heart wise, when you ask what I want to visit, I'm very contented. I'm almost, it's comfortable. It's like a good chair, your reading chair. It's very comfortable. With Duke next to me. Peaceful.
And so my next question for you guys to sense, can anybody access this information or this energy that is stored or emanating from this place? Can anybody access it? Or is it only available to those that are seeking it?
My impression is when you're ready, it'll appear.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just not, it won't be available. I mean, anybody can get it if they're ready mentally and open to it. Like one thing I get is my head, I'm guessing it's third eye.
Mm-hmm.
When I talk too much to the orb, telepathically, it's not painful, but it's definitely, I feel drained.
Well, I didn't see any energy or any vault or chamber, but I asked this question and I got the answer that you find what you seek. So I guess you have to look for it in order to find it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in this tube-like room again, and this time it looks quite white on the inside, and I'm seeing this. I'm like seeing something come down from the top. The top is open, and it sort of looks like lines, curvy lines, lines that can move, energy perhaps. And my feeling from that is that it selects you.
Mhm. Okay. Do you guys want to stay in this a little bit longer, or would you like to go to the reveal?
I also
Stay a
saw
little,
something like camels and
stay a
riders.
little longer, please.
Stay a little longer? Okay.
Tips, could you repeat that?
No, I was just seeing camels or something like camels and riders. I just see. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of animals. Is all.
Mhm. You said
I,
camels?
Camels or llamas, something like that. But like really big as camels.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier I was sort of getting a word. It's maybe the beginning of a word. I don't know if it's phonetic or what. It was PH, and I think it was pronounced like an F.
Mm-hmm.
Or it started with that anyways.
I was just seeing what looked like 4 stone carvings of people carved into a wall.
Mm-hmm. So 4 stone carvings of people carved into a wall.
Right.
What is special about them that they were carved into the wall?
I don't know if they're deities or gods. Let me look more into it.
Okay.
When I saw the carvings on the wall, it basically depicts some sort of a story. They're trying to tell something about their times with how the lifestyle or how things were with them. It kind of depicts that kind of a story. It's mainly like kind of stories between written, and all the stories have hidden kind of meanings inside them. And it's in a way a bit mystical as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there is, I mean, because I do feel light beings, strong energies,
Mm-hmm.
and they are also depicted into those stories. So there's mystical, like mystery or secret hidden onto those kind of carvings as they kind of it's been written.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked a question about the energy vault or chamber that Heather was asking, and I got the answer that it was the seat of knowledge and that it's a storehouse of universal energy. Some sort of a storehouse.
It's a storehouse of universal energy. Can you go take a look at those carvings that were telling a story and go ahead and read them? Pick a story. Just say, I would like to understand a story that is in the highest good for this group, and then go ahead and read it, and you'll be given the ability to read it, or it'll play out to you.
So the storehouse is meant for the purest of mind and heart. So I guess to the question that Heather asked in the beginning about who can find this, I guess it has to be purest of mind and heart. That is why I haven't found it yet.
Well, I'm definitely pure of heart, so I'll probably.
You definitely
Yeah,
are.
of course.
You
I
got
know
a
you
heart
were
of
right
light,
in it.
Mario.
There you go. Oh, Dips, just as a side note, the lynx that you thought was a panther talked to me and said he's not vegan, so you're giving him vegan.
Sorry, what?
The panther that you put, it's a lynx, not a panther, talked to me and said you were trying to give him vegan food, and he said not a vegan. So. Just so.
Yeah, it could be a lynx.
Yeah, what is that? Everybody tune in to what that is. That cat like thing.
Well, this creature, it looked like a statue at first. So it was almost as if a statue had come to life when I saw it. Okay, I also got stone carvings and I got Zeus.
So this cat statue that comes to life, what is it?
By the way, did you say Zeus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Zeus too.
Just
out of the blue.
I got Ozzy Osbourne.
So I was just seeing this stone carving of this bearded man, and the first impression that I got was Zeus.
I got the word Zeus.
Yeah.
And then like a mythical feeling to it.
Well,
it's ancient Greece.
The lynx only appears real. It is a stone carving. It only appears real when it knows it's the person that it, I guess, opens up to.
Mm-hmm.
It knew you were ready, so therefore it appeared real then. So to other people, it looked like a stone carving that go by, but for you, it appeared. So, and he says he's only disclosed himself or shows up when you're ready. You should ask him what.
So is this a normal cat, or is this some kind of deity cat, or is this some kind of mythical cat that is both a stone and can come to life when a person's ready.
Well, I sense it's very ancient, smart, wise, but it's got a tinge of being a wise ass like me. So that's why I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't do beers.
Mm-hmm.
It's myth. I'm not sure your definition mythical versus magical.
Magical.
Yeah, something like it. Well, in other words, it has the ability to make a stone statue and appear that it's real. Not real, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's magical for sure.
yeah. Okay. So then it's magic.
So did you talk to this cat or lynx, Mario?
Yes, he likes you. He said you were nice. So there we go. I said to him, "What am I, chopped liver?" And he just looked at me. So whatever. Like that
Purest
fit
of
the other
mind
day.
and heart.
Yes. Yeah, he did say I was angelic. You'll be getting my wings very soon.
Should put that as your LinkedIn recommendations.
Totally.
Oh yeah.
So should we come back here?
Well, I will because I want to hang out with the lynx. He's cool, dude. And the orb.
Does the lynx have a name?
Yeah, ask him his name or her name.
Oh, it's a he. He's got nothing. Okay. Now I know he's. Well, he said Ziggy. I said, why don't you just call yourself Mario Jr.? But he calls himself Ziggy.
Z?
Ziggy. Ziggy.
He calls himself Ziggy.
Yeah. Wiggy Ziggy. The hell's name kind of. I asked him, who's your mother? Ziggy.
Where is Carrie?
I'm here.
Can people hear me?
Well, hold on, Dips. Carrie's gonna give us an update where she's at.
Well, I tried to go in the
Well,
tunnel.
the cat seems to be guarding something.
Sorry, Carrie.
It's okay. I tried to go in that tunnel, and I just kept going to the tunnel, and it didn't come out to anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely think this is someplace we should come back. It's there's a lot of mystery to it that will unfold in the future, and I don't know if that's for me personally or for everyone as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm getting that pole with the snake around it again. It really reminds me of the staff of Hermes. You know that
Soul's treasure.
The
Hmm?
staff of Hermes, you said?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it just makes me
It's
wonder.
actually quite fierce.
Can you say that again?
Hold on, Dips. I don't think she can hear you. I think her audio goes out sometimes.
Oh, okay.
That's why she go on.
Yeah. Yeah, so I wonder if there's a medical aspect to this
Mm-hmm.
somewhere. Healing, something involved somewhere with that, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you can go.
Oh, okay. Because I can't hear anyone else.
We know.
I can't hear Heather at all. But
I can't
anyway,
hear you.
so this is what I got.
Okay.
Oh.
Is she gone?
Oh.
Yeah, she's not talking over you guys on purpose. She just can't hear, so she starts talking because she can't hear anything.
No worries. Can I talk
So
now?
I can't hear anyone. Can anyone else hear me?
No, we can't.
We can hear you now.
No,
We couldn't, but now we can.
Yeah.
thumbs up.
Oh, but you can hear us. Oh.
Dips, log out and log back in if you like. Or you can type in what you got, or you can just tell us because we could hear you. She may not be able to hear me. Frozen. Okay, go ahead, Carrie.
I was gonna say I got this image. If you can see, it's like it was metal, and it was like a globe with a ring around it, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And then it had a metal, long piece of metal going through it, and a pointy part at the top. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I didn't do a very good drawing where you can tell it's round. It's a round. It looks like a small ball,
Mm-hmm.
but it is round.
So it's like a metal ball, and then there's like something that's tall and metal with the spiky thing on top.
Right, and it always seemed like it might be Greek, but I'm not really sure.
So we'll say AOL Greek.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was seeing something similar to that shape, but for me, it wasn't a ball. It was like a disc, and it was, it was flat, and it was horizontal, and it was rotating. I couldn't tell what material it was, but the disc was like a dark brown. So I suppose for me, it wasn't metal, but yeah, I wonder what that is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what is that?
Earlier on, I saw like on the ground, it seemed kind of carved into the ground itself outside. It was quite large, and it was like in the outline similar to the subject ideogram. So it's like that, except there was a point at the top, like a fish.
Okay. Can you make a little sketch of it so we can see it when you're done?
Mm-hmm.
And Heather, before I forget, what's the guy with the hammer and the long hair?
Thor.
There you go. Remember the guy who watches? I forget that realm. And he has a sword.
Heimdall.
Who?
Heimdall.
Okay.
Heimdall.
The floor where I'm in the library that I claim,
Mm-hmm.
it's that floor where you can look down and you see nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You're there, you can stand on it. I think I'm floating,
Mm-hmm.
but it's you can see through it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like these kids now that paint on the floor and makes it look like you're walking over a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to mention that to me, looking at notes again.
That's cool.
Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
So it looks a lot like the subject ideogram, but it,
Oh,
yeah, it's like kind of
Yeah,
like
it
sort of
does.
a fish as well.
Oh, Dips. Ziggy asked, why did you scratch his right ear and not his left? He's a little disappointed. Just so you know. Get some kudos
He
there.
told me his name was DAEM AN or MON. And he's definitely guarding something. He doesn't just reveal himself to people who like.
Well, he likes me, so he gave me the keys to the castle. I'm already there.
What is he guarding, Dips? Is he guarding this library thing that Mario's in?
I don't know, but it seems to be some sort of a treasure, and he seems to be pretty fierce. So I'm not exactly sure the scratching of the ear will work.
Well.
Is this a physical treasure, a mental treasure, a spiritual treasure?
No, it doesn't have to be a physical treasure, but it is very precious.
It's precious, yeah.
All joking aside, he's like my canine Duke. He knows if you're ready. The problem is he's guarding what he's really guarding, at least from what we communicated, is he doesn't want you to take this knowledge and then turn around and use
Right.
it. He wants you to be ready enough and be pure enough. So he said, that's why I'm so pure and angelic.
Hence the purest of mind and heart.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
He said, because people can take this awesome knowledge and power. It's a gift. It is the ultimate gift, and they abuse it. So that's, I would not want to annoy him. Let's just say, piss him off. Yeah.
He's your friend. You can just ask for it nicely.
Right. Well, he also knows. He can sense if you're pure intentions or not. That's why he likes me.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I scratched both of his ears and I gave him meat, not vegan food. So he likes me more.
So Dips, I googled
Yeah, I'm
that.
just imagining Mario scratching.
Dips, I googled that spelling of that, and it says, in mythology and ancient Greek belief, a divinity or supernatural being of nature between gods and humans.
Could you repeat that?
So I googled the name that Dips gave. I spelled it the way she spelled it, and it says in mythology it is an ancient Greek belief, a divinity or supernatural being of a nature between gods and humans.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I know what, like, I had some inclination, but I didn't want to, like, misspell it. It's what demons are called, right?
Yes.
It's also the part of fairy tales.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I spelled it is because it's not a demon or a devil. It's a Daemon demon. Yeah.
Yes.
Heather, I had a vision of a girl. Her dress is like butterfly wings,
Wow.
but then
That's the dress I want.
the dress is like butterfly wings, but then it just blends. It's so huge and it's so big. It just like blends with all the heaven. How do I describe this? It's just, yeah, the butterfly wings is like an angel wing. Yeah, I guess, yeah, like an angel wings, but it's more like fabric than light.
Can you draw?
It's no, I draw like shit. It's like I can't draw with shit. Just like Mario says. It's like when I went to Inner Earth, when I saw it was just like entering, the entrance to Inner Earth. Entrance was not that big, but of course all inside just huge. But that entrance is like Jesus Christ. It feels like that, yellowish gold, like Jesus, the robes. That entrance was his robe. I don't know. I just thought I should mention it. Keeps coming up. The girl walking in and her dress, this butterfly wings, and it just so big that it just covers all of heaven. It just blends like fabric. Okay.
This trivia. This cat grows a mane when it wants to. I don't know who that information helps, but it's there.
Yeah, I think I know a few people who would really, really love that.
Well, are you guys ready to go the reveal?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we
Yes.
can always come back to this more in the future if you guys want. Okay,
Absolutely.
let me pull it up. So this is pretty fascinating. All right, so I'm gonna also play us a video. So bear with me while I get that queued up here. But I'm gonna put the tasking in the box so you can see it. All right, so there's the tasking.
You know, I got
We can't hear you, Dips, you cut out.
like the
Can't hear you, Dips. Okay, ready, guys?
Can anybody hear me?
No, you were cut out. You sounded like a choppy robot. All right, so you guys saw our tasking, right? So this is what we were looking at. Here's a little video on it, so you guys can see some imagery of it.
Interesting.
It's pretty short. It's only about 8 minutes long.
Night in the rocky landscape of the Makran coastline.
Hold on, sorry.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ancient Architects. Hiding in plain sight in the rocky landscape of the Makran coastline of southern Balochistan in Pakistan is an architectural anomaly that seems to have gone unnoticed and unexplored for centuries. Known as the Balochistan Sphinx, the site in question first came into the public eye in 2004 after the Makran Coastal Highway was opened. Most people pass it off as a natural geological formation, but as far as I'm aware, no archaeological work has been conducted on the site. I can understand the geological interpretation, but some researchers have taken a closer look at the Balochistan Sphinx and are convinced it is a gigantic, ancient rock-cut architectural complex. Researcher Bibu Dev Misra believes that what we are looking at is in fact a badly worn Egyptian-like sphinx. He believes he has identified a jawline, discernible facial features, and even a headdress that closely resembles the nemes of the Egyptian pharaohs. Furthermore, Misra points out that you can easily make out the reclining forelegs of the Balochistan Sphinx, which terminate in well-defined pores. But the argument for this being a man-made structure isn't just the close resemblance to the Egyptian Sphinx. There is in fact a far bigger picture, and the morphology of the surrounding hillside reveals a larger complex. From a distance, we see what looks like a South Indian Hindu temple with a mandapa or entrance hall and a vimana or temple spire. The Sphinx is located in front of the temple, and Misra interprets this as being the protector of the temple site. Sphinxes, as we know, can be found next to sacred monuments, temples, and tombs, and although it is debated, many interpret the purpose of the Great Sphinx of Egypt to be the guardian of the Giza pyramids. Also, the fantastic statue of the Sphinx of Naxos is also believed to have acted as a protector. Sphinxes also appear in Indian art and are known as Purusha Mriga or man-beast, and are often seen at temple gateways, acting as guardians or protectors of a sanctuary. Furthermore, Sphinxes feature in Buddhist architecture in Southeast Asia. They are known as Manusiha, meaning man-lion, and are depicted in a cat-like crouching posture, wearing a tapering crown and ornamental ear flaps, with feathered wings attached to their front limbs. The point to make here is that sphinxes are found throughout the world, and often acted as protectors of sacred places. Therefore, a sphinx in Pakistan isn't as far-fetched an idea as you may have originally thought, especially as it is located next to what has been interpreted as a possible temple site. Misra has looked into the area with greater detail, and he believes there is clear evidence of pillars carved into the boundary wall, and he has even located the temple entrance behind a large pileup of sediment. To the left of the entrance, he has identified an elevated, sculpted subsidiary shrine. To Misra, all of this information, when viewed together, points to the structure being man-made, a rock-cut monument with a level of erosion showing that it must be of great antiquity. After analysing the structure of the Sphinx temple, Misra believes that it may actually be a gopuram, which is the entrance tower of a temple. Gopurams have flat tops and rows of what look like ornamental pots arranged on top, both of which are identifiable at the Balochistan Sphinx complex, the latter having a covering of sediment. The Sphinx temple appears to be contiguous with the outer boundary wall, which is what you would expect with a gopuram, but you would also expect to see sculpted figures. According to Misra, we do, but granted, they are badly eroded. He believes there are two monumental figures carved on the facade, just above the entrance. The elevated platform on which the Sphinx and the associated temple sit on is also believed to be elaborately carved, with pillars, niches, and symmetrical pattern that extends across the entire upper part of the platform. Some of the niches could be potential doors into the temple, in the same way there are chambers beneath the Great Sphinx of Egypt. If you are still unconvinced by the site, Misra believes he has found a series of steps that lead up to the elevated platform, which gives the site the impression of a grand, rock-cut architectural complex. Which, granted, has been badly eroded by the elements and covered with sediment, hiding the possible ancient ruin in plain sight. As well as natural wind and water erosion over the years, we know that the area has been subjected to tsunamis and mud volcanoes, so it is hard to date the structure from studying the erosional patterns and sediment buildup alone, without having a clear geological history of the area. So do we have any idea? We know that the Indus Valley civilization extended along the Makran coast, meaning the Sphinx temple complex could therefore have been built thousands of years ago during the Indus period, possibly around 3000 BC or earlier. Also, according to the accounts of Chinese Buddhist monk Haiyan Sang, the Makran coast was, even in the 7th century AD, dotted with hundreds of Buddhist monasteries and caves, as well as several hundred Hindu temples, including a richly sculpted temple of Lord Shiva. Where they are today, we don't know, so they must have simply been eroded away by the elements or covered in sediment. For whatever reason, possibly a large-scale cataclysm, Misra believes they were entirely forgotten and then, over time, passed off as natural formations. It is important to note that this particular site also isn't in total isolation, as on top of another elevated platform are possible remains of another ancient Hindu-like temple. To truly get to the bottom of the mystery, the area does require archaeological excavation, as the site is still classified as a natural geological formation and not a site of human interest. If excavations do confirm Misra's claims, then inscriptions and archaeological finds will certainly help to pinpoint the date of its creation. The site could be of extreme historical importance, as it could fill in the gaps of the historic Indian civilization. We know that exquisite rock-cut temples and monuments were built from the 3rd century BC onwards, but where the skills and techniques came from is unknown, as there doesn't seem to be a clear evolution of monument building in the region. The rock-cut monuments of the Makran coastline may provide the answer, and could well hold the keys to understanding the transition between the Indus period and the later day Indian civilization. The site could be a treasure trove of archaeological wonders waiting to be discovered, but sadly, the monuments continue to languish in isolation. It is Misra's wish for international attention to be drawn to the Makran coast, to bring in teams of archaeologists and independent researchers from around the globe, to shine the spotlight on these monuments and help write a new chapter in the history of humanity. But are they actually amazing historic ruins, or are they simply natural geological formations? Personally, I am undecided, but there is certainly a case for further investigation. Thank you for watching this episode of
Wow, I've never heard of this place. It's amazing. Like, wow.
Yeah, so what do you guys think now that you guys cracked a massive mystery? So congratulations. You guys
Well,
just
first,
cracked a historical mystery. You guys nailed it. You even said Sphinx. A bunch of you did.
Mhm.
So what I think we should do is if you could all take photos of your reports and send them to me privately on WhatsApp. I would really appreciate that.
I haven't drawn much.
That's okay. Anything that you wrote down, just send me photos of all your pages. You don't have to just photo the things you got right. Send me everything. You guys did fantastic. So what do you guys think now that you know what you were viewing?
I definitely want to go back.
Mm-hmm.
I think the tribal part was right, and I think a bunch of people said tribal because even the jewelry, when I was looking at it, it seemed it did seem a bit tribal. But I heard Mayan, and I thought it was South America, but it turned out to be Indus Valley civilization. I mean, but so
you also said Egyptian at one time too.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
So
Yeah, I think I got the worshipping and the temple because it definitely, because there was a lamp glowing in front of it, so it definitely gave me the sense that it is worshipped and sacred. And also I guess what happened was I went out just to check the place, and there used to be a lot of trees. Apparently it seemed like a deserted place now, but it's a lot of trees, and how, you know, vibrant everything was. And it was a warm place, so I kept on getting warm. And another thing that I got was how, you know, the tribes used to work together. They used to go on to the place where they used to worship, and they all had a community doing it. And that's what really I got. And yeah, I'm kind of happy in what I really got, and I was fine once I got that. So yeah.
I like to oh, go ahead.
I also got the Buddhist aspect. I saw like a little it's one of the pictures that came up, so it reminded me of I don't know how to attach pictures here. I guess you can't. But it was in the video, Heather. So that Buddhist monk, I saw one, you know, sitting meditating. So that was good to hear. And the Gopuram, you know, I said I saw an opening in a like a top of a pyramid opening, but it was also square, but also triangular. So that's the Gopuram they showed. But I don't know why I was shown it open, you know, open on top.
What I would like to do is review it again and find out what happened to the culture. Because I believe it's very, very, I think it's a lot older than anticipated.
Yeah, we could definitely find that out. But at least we know we cracked it. We know that it's the real deal for sure.
So I didn't see much of the religious or spiritual aspect, but I was constantly seeing a marketplace, and it was very busy, and it had camels, and like it was a very vibrant place with people all around, and like I think I said this the first time, seemed like a carnival, but later it seemed like it was in a desert kind of area, which is when I saw the camels and everything. Oh, and the women and everything, like the women showed me their jewelry and stuff, so that was interesting.
That is cool.
I could hear the clucking of chickens.
Oh,
I
my.
saw a horse. So it just seemed like a very busy place to me.
And
Dips are always good at picking up the animals.
Yeah,
just the goat is now a
Oh.
unicorn.
She does talk to animals a lot.
Yeah.
So
I saw Teletubbies, so I
and
hope
that
that
white
counts.
cat. Oh, you
Yeah.
saw Teletubbies?
Oh yeah, AOL.
Yeah.
Now,
white cat.
one question I believe. Remember, they said in the video there was 2 tsunamis that wiped it out or something.
Yeah.
I'm wondering. I would like to find out if that's what wiped out their culture.
Yeah. Well,
I started. I must have missed that part, but I did see. When I started it with when I started going into this reading, I saw thunder, I saw lightning, I could smell rain on my skin. There was a lot of wind, and there was definitely aspects of a storm. I could see black clouds and everything.
And Dips, you
So-
said water also. And water.
I got
is
a lot
right
of
there.
water in the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were on about that too.
I saw water too in the beginning, Heather.
I saw Noah's Ark, but I wrote it. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, Carrie says she saw thunder light, or she saw lightning too.
Nice.
Well, what was interesting is you guys were seeing Zeus as well. And
Yeah,
Carrie,
I do think that's what Zeus is about. Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe the lightning aspect, because also Mario was referencing Thor, which is this god with a hammer and lightning. So
Right.
you guys were really tuning into this aspect of like lightning.
See, also the other aspect, the anthropological aspect of this is that they do say that a part of the Greek tribes went and created Indus Valley civilization, so that the Aryans are related to the Greeks. So there could also be cultural similarities in that.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely, our next remote viewing tasking when you guys least expect it. So I don't know when in the future it'll be, but we'll definitely throw this in the remote viewing box to explore who was the founding culture and how did it, what was it like at its peak civilization, and what happened to it to bring it to where it is today.
The other question was, remember, again, because I watched it this morning, the giants, because that structure was pretty, that was really probably the biggest. If you looked at way back,
yeah,
I mean, that's huge. I mean, it's
Yeah.
perfect because it's surrounded by stuff you'd be hard pressed to be able to attack it.
Mhm.
I'm wondering if the giants, that culture was involved in it, because
How could this information, knowing this information, affect our lives today?
So there's sacred places. So what you guys confirmed is something that I already like had a feeling about. Well, I've been to multi-dimensional places where I've gone places where people think are just ruins, but they're actually alive and well. And there's a lot of ancient school mysteries, because in one of like my personal like past lives, I had an ancient mystery school in Egypt, and it is a multi-dimensional school that people could come to throughout time and space. But if a normal person were to walk by there, they wouldn't know that there was anything there. But if the soul was ready for that type of education, then it would be alive to them. And so you guys kind of confirmed a lot of that, because you were picking up on like this cat being that is this guardian of this, and how this white cat being in the statue comes alive to the person when it's appropriate for them, and that this being the storehouse of like knowledge, but it's not just like about the physical tangible. There's like this like Lily said, there's a portal here, and she said the Sphinx marks a special spot. And we know that from our remote viewing data that the Sphinx was guarding something. Like Dips was saying, he's guarding something precious. He's guarding like some kind of treasure. And so there is, I want to say that like Mario was very spot on when he was talking about this library aspect, this infinite, unending library that's too vast to be just physical. It's it must be spiritual. That it's like the stairway to heaven, and it can expand you and open your mind. That it contains all history, and that is
Was
extremely.
Mario the only one who saw it?
He said it's extremely ancient, extremely old, but you have to be of pure thought energy, pure mind, pure heart. And Dips, you were even saying that there's a set of knowledge here, that there's a storehouse of universal energies.
Yeah, except I couldn't see it. And Mario was actually in it. So I guess he was of purest mind and heart.
He was.
There you go.
And then
Bring it.
the ancient symbols that you guys were seeing on the walls within the religion, the worshiping, the sacred, lots of energy in this location, very high vibration, the symbols telling a hidden meaning or story of mystical, like a mystical origin. There's light beings, there's strong energy, there's mysteries and secrets in the carvings. Also, like Naz was saying, it's like a museum, and there's these geometrical shapes on the gates. Carrie was saying there's these 4 stone carvings of people carved into a wall that she thought were deities or gods, and we saw those when we watched the video. The rocky tribal symbols, I think all that was accurate. There's other things that I would want to investigate more, like what is that, the rotating disc thing, that metal ball, like what is that? And also what happened to the cultural, because there's all these many ancient symbols, and there is also these aspects of like childlike wonder, feeling otherworldly, because it is, like Mario had said, it is a multi-dimensional place. That's what he was sensing. And then Lily was saying that this is like a really magical place, and also a place of imagination, that there's sacred geometry formed by frequency here, and that you are sensing it in your heart. And you were funny because you said, yes, there's Egyptian and there's Sphinx, but there's no pyramids. And you kind of laughed, which I was like, she's nailing it. She is so there. You'd also said there was like this white room with an open top with energy coming down with these curving lines of energy, which was interesting because that coincided with what Naz was saying when she was saying there was like this meditating monk, but there was this goporium opening with an opening on top. So there was something with an opening on top that you guys were going into. Also, like, there was the aspect that Lily said, like a tube that was going upwards, kind of like with wings and upward motion, that there was like this long pole shape with a serpent wrapped around it, and your heart was very jittery, and you were like staff of Hermes. Is there a medical healing aspect maybe? So this is such a highly energetic place with this portal and with all this information, and it's got a guardian over it. It's not shocking that you would see that there would be healing technologies or healing information there.
When I started going into it, I saw a minaret, but for some reason I just wiped it because I thought it was maybe my imagination. And then when I started talking to this cat, the first thing the cat said was obelisk, and I just went and Googled what an obelisk looks like, and that is exactly what I saw in the beginning. And posted that link in the chat. I'm not sure if this was part of the video, but it's definitely something I saw.
I received this message. Remember, you mentioned, you asked to, find out something from those carvings and the story. So it was said, saying, he who knows will not seek, and the seeker will be led.
Say that again.
He who knows will not seek, and the seeker will be led. I didn't really know what it really meant, so I didn't say anything.
Well, now you know what it means.
Well, yeah.
I think, I got, so, okay. So I think this one I think Heather was asking this question as to how can one find this place where Mario was in, and I got this I got this sentence that said, you find what you seek. So to get it, you have to look for it.
Yeah, you did say that, Dips. Yeah.
Which is exactly what I said. The orb was near. I said the orb, the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it makes sense. The only thing I wanted to ask was the other question is, you know how an iceberg, you only see 5% of it, the rest is
Yeah.
hidden?
Yeah.
I find it really fascinating. Every other pyramid, every other structure has been vandalized and, politicized. This one acts very nonchalant because it's got a hidden treasure. And
Yeah.
I believe it purposely is acting like
Right.
nothing big about it,
Yep.
just to be low key,
Yeah.
so that nobody destroys it before it's ready for us to actually
Reveal it. Yeah.
reveal it.
What were you gonna say, Lily?
I was just curious, has anybody else seen an obelisk or a minaret?
Well, I was just going to ask you, what is that word, the minarets? Could you
Yeah,
type
can you
it?
spell it?
Because I was wondering. It sounds
So
interesting.
I typed it. What I heard, the word was obelisk. It's there on the chat. That's what it looked like to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking about the other word. The
Minaret.
Yeah, what is that?
Minaret.
Could you type that?
It's what mosques have. Those well, how do I explain? Minarets are long structures that there are a lot of how do I explain? Yeah, it's a tall, thin tower, usually forming part of a building where part of a mosque. But it wasn't so much a minaret as it was an obelisk, which is what I typed.
So more of an obelisk shape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I actually saw an obelisk the first time and I sort of erased it. And then the first time I saw the first word the cat said was obelisk. So I didn't know what it was. I just
Naz, did you write anything?
Yeah, just all what.
Will you send me? Because what I might do is put all of our reports together, and I might contact the individual who's been researching this, and I might submit our data to him because it might be useful for him.
And I just put in the link for minarets there. I did a Google.
So what is the girl with the dress with the wings? It looks like in the video, it looks like the Sphinx is sitting there, the purple. You see how the clouds is like purple? That's what I saw, I guess.
Well, the other interesting thing is multiple viewers got there was beans there was lots of beans dressed, and interestingly, each different. Some had hair piled high collars, bright colors. Some people had head coverings that were bright purple. So a few of you did see, like Dip saw like a purple Egyptian headdress. So you guys did see some kind of interestingly dressed different people. So that's
I was just saying, I just saw a headdress, but purple and orange and vibrant colors is what I started my viewing with. So purple and orange clothes especially stood out. But when I was seeing people in dress, it was gray for some reason.
It was
but
gray?
yeah, it was gray. But the jewelry was pretty distinctive.
Mm-hmm. So there definitely was some interesting clothing there. So I'm not surprised that you picked up on that. When we remote view this again in the future, when we least expect it, we can look more into what was the culture like and what led to the abandonment of this space.
I think it was the demise. I don't think.
Or the demise of it. We can find out.
I think it was sudden.
I just realized that the person that I said, I could only see the top part above his shoulders. Probably not a he now when I think about it. I thought he was dressed like a ninja, but I think it's actually a hijab now that I know where it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think that makes a lot more sense. So I guess,
you know, when you were describing that's what I got. I go, she's describing a Muslim woman. That's every time. I was like, she says the headdress. I go, I was just like, just shut up, not say anything. And I was like, she's describing a Muslim woman.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if I wore purple, would I be described like that too? I'm curious. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Okay,
I think
so,
you have to wear a headdress.
Oh yeah.
so I need photos of reports from Lily, from Lori, from Nikki, and Naz.
Well, I'm afraid whenever I image stream, I can't really
Right.
do anything with a pen.
Okay,
I
that's
really
okay then. If you
So what
didn't
you
write
saw is
anything,
pretty much what there is.
that's
That
okay.
little fish thing. Yeah. Pretty much. I did write 2236 and the squiggle, and
That's it.
that was
Okay.
pretty much it.
No,
I
no
do a
problem.
square, and that was
That's a-okay.
Lori's talking, I think. Lori, we can't hear you.
Yeah, we can't hear Lori.
I just sent you mine, but I don't know that it'll be too deep.
Thank you so much.
Energy, and maybe they use steamrollers, and I saw Crown, Neverland.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I think you also
there
saw
are some
Mickey
things I
Mouse.
connect with, but I don't think I was super into this one.
That's okay.
But I think you also saw Mickey Mouse.
Well, I saw like a glove, a white glove that looked like Mickey Mouse's hand opening a door.
I think she saw Smurf too.
Or it could have been Michael Jackson.
It didn't have diamonds on it.
Oh, okay.
It would have to have diamonds if it was.
All right. All right. Damn, I was close.
And I got
Did
the
get the,
treasure.
were you impressed? At least I got a song in there.
Holding up the clouds. When I saw the picture, I mean, the Sphinx was like in the clouds, basically. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would definitely look like that if you were to be anywhere near the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and you would look up because it's so tall.
Mm-hmm.
You would see both.
Yeah. Yeah, this was cool. We should definitely come back here and research, do more remote viewing archaeology.
I actually saw what looked like a beach, and there were a lot of people there right next to it, and it sort of inserted itself,
Mm-hmm.
and I pushed it away because I'm like, no, that's wrong. But it makes sense now. Like, yeah. It really helps to see that map.
Mm-hmm.
I think, all of us doing it together, our energies just, mingle, come together, and it's like puzzle pieces, and we put the picture together.
Yeah, you guys did fantastic. You guys really did a great job. You should be proud of yourselves. You did really well. Okay, well, high fives. Do you guys mind if I share this with the rest of the group to watch? Because I think that this could be a really fun one for people that are
Absolutely.
curious. Would that be okay?
For me, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll sign. I'll have to
Yes,
sign
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
My hair wasn't that good, but I did well. Even though I
Sure,
had bad
because
hair.
it was like we finally got something right. So
There you go.
Things right all the
I
time.
think this will do the opposite of breaking our egos, though.
Now the ego's gonna be like, yeah, I'm a really good remote viewer.
Yeah, I'll watch out for tomorrow then.
There you go.
Tomorrow,
Yeah, and then we'll get a hard
don't be all
time tomorrow.
ego-y tomorrow when we remote view.
Exactly. It's going to be a yo-yo.
I don't want to say anything, but I was the first person to say anything.
You did. Thank you for breaking the silence seal.
Everybody else is like, "Oh my God, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
Teletubby it."
Yeah, we gotta
my
get past
Teletubby
that.
AOL and started going.
Well, I'm just going with Heather. I don't mind, making a fool out of myself. Whatever it is, just say it out loud.
Yes, exactly. Just be the fool and it'll be all right.
Yep.
Well, you guys did a great job. So thank you so much for joining me today. It was a great practice.
It was. Thank you
So
so much. That was fun. We go to
Yeah,
visit
really
again.
fun.
Yeah, thank you for taking us there, Heather.
Okay.
As always.
That was
Yeah.
a cool trip.
See you tonight, everybody.
And Dips is so
See
funny.
ya.
Her cat, the Sphinx,
So funny.
her goat, the unicorn. I'm running after a goat. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then, oh no, I'm talking to the unicorn. No, okay.
He's like, I'm getting me some jewelry. I'm gonna go talk to the animals.
Yeah, I know. I mean, everyone's like, this is the energy is coming here, and this is what is happening, and it's a spiritual place, and I'm just looking at jewelry.
And
I
she's
didn't ask for
shopping.
it. I don't
She's
even like
shopping.
jewelry.
Shopping and talking to the white cat.
I didn't ask for it. The women started showing me jewelry. I mean, I thought it was rude. I was like, I'll take what I can
You
get.
should have bought some. You should have just bought some.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Heather. Thanks for everything. Thank you. See you tomorrow. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See
Bye.
you.
Bye.